All right, so come to your mats. Find your seat. I haven't started in a seat for a minute, so I always encourage you to stretch out a little bit before settling in. So a little bit of movement, a little bit of exploration. And then when you're ready, just sit. Sit up tall, close your eyes. Soften your face, lengthen your neck, melt your shoulders, and then start to notice your breath. See if you can feel your inhales move all the way down the length of your torso, so all the way down into your low belly, your low back. And then exhales take you all the way to emptiness every single time. So take a moment to just connect with your breath. So we're not going to do our great big huge 3 deep breaths today. If you want to take them on your own, you can. Otherwise, just sitting, finding your big deep breaths, finding your ujjayi breath, so in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. And as you connect to this breath, my friends, if you want to start to move from your seat a little bit, maybe you do. So keeping your eyes closed. Hi, Rubes. Just slowly maybe rotating, circling through your torso, or even taking some seated cat-cows. So anything that calls to you from your seat, and then keep that ujjayi breath going, and eventually we'll come to hands and knees and just do pretty much the same thing. Just explore movement. Move your spine, your hips, your shoulders, circle around, sit back, come forward. So just getting into our bodies. Taking this time to arrive more fully inside. Notice what's going on inside. Notice what sensations are there, what feels really good, what might feel really tight. Maybe you slept a little bit funny on your neck, or your low back's a little achy this morning. So just start to notice all that stuff. And then as you are ready, next few breaths, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. So find your way back into downward facing dog in your own time. And then once you're back in down dog, you've got a few breaths here. So down dog is one of those poses, we do it all the time. I did it for a couple of years and hated the pose. I thought it was the worst pose in the world, so uncomfortable. Every time we went into it, I couldn't wait until we got out of it. Now, it's my most favorite pose in all of yoga. I love it so much because I figured out how to work it, how to make it work for my body, how to make the little adjustments so it doesn't feel like all my weight is in my hands and my wrists. So right now, I don't feel very much weight at all in my hands. I feel strength in my arms. I feel strength in my shoulders. I feel that lift coming from my belly button. I feel length in my spine and my side body. So the first thing I always say to people, bend your knees. Bend your knees, bend your knees. And I always think it's so funny because they don't even hear it. They don't bend their knees. Bend your knees, lift your butt really high as you press the ground away with your fingertips. And then once you feel that length there, if you want to start to straighten your legs more, that's fine, but don't lose that length in your spine. Take one more great big inhale into your down dog, everyone. And then as you exhale, let's just walk halfway up our mat. So not to the very top, just halfway up. So pause right in the center of your yoga mat and bring your feet mat width distance apart. Bring your toes out wider than your heels. And we're gonna right away just come down into this low squat position, Malasana, getting into our hips. So try to keep your heels down if possible. And if you're like me, my weight kind of wants to roll onto the inner edges of my feet, so I'm trying to press into the outer edges as well. Lengthen through your spine, broaden through the fronts of your shoulders. I like to make little fists with my hands and then push my fists into one another. So broad through your shoulders and your collarbones. Take about 2 or 3 more breaths. For some people, this is going to feel really easy, really natural. For others like me, this is super uncomfortable. I do not enjoy this position. It does not feel super comfortable. That's okay. Take one more big inhale. One last big exhale. And then let's just plant our hands at the top of our mat, step your feet back again so you're back in your downward facing dog, and just walk it out. So hands go forward, feet go back, downward facing dog. Next time you breathe in, I want you to come forward to a plank position. Exhale to slowly lower. So all the way to your belly. Let's take our Spiderman Cobra. Hands come out nice and wide. Lift to your fingertips. And then lift your chest up, but not super high. Bend your right knee, press into your right fingertips. Roll onto the outside of your left hip and reach your right toes towards the ground behind you. So you want to make sure to come off of your belly. My belly button now is pointing over to the right. It's not on the ground. And then see if you can dip your left shoulder down towards the center of your mat a little more. Maybe reach your right toes up towards your left hand behind you. One more deep breath. And then end of your exhale through center, and we'll just switch sides. So right leg straight, left knee bends. Roll into the outside of your right hip. So again, my belly is not on the ground. You can see my belly is lifted up. I'm all the way up on the outside of my right hip. Now I'm going to let my right shoulder dip down. Left toes reach up towards my right hand a little closer. Take one more big breath. End of your exhale, back to center, let it go. And then we'll press up just to tabletop, just to hands and knees. All right, from tabletop, we'll move into a spinal balance. So find your strength, your stability, spread your fingers wide, and then let's take our right arm forward and our left leg back. So reach actively from your fingertips back to your toes or your heels. Strong straight line, draw your belly button in and up. Take one more big inhale, and then as you exhale, elbow to knee, slowly with control, engage through your core. Inhale, lengthen it out, re-extend. Slowly exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, get long, spread your fingers, press with your back foot. Keep a little micro bend in your left elbow. Exhale last time, elbow to knee. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Pivot on your right knee, modified side plank. Open it up, so left arm to the sky. Reach your left arm forward and lengthen your left side. Press your hips forward, so try not to stick your butt out behind you. Left leg is strong, left foot is active. You can stay here or reach back, grab hold of your left foot. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot, and see if you can let your heart open up towards the sky. Take 2 or 3 more breaths just being in this pose. So hips gently press forward, heart opens, breathe down into your belly. Awesome job, my friends. End of your next exhale, release and unwind back to your hands and your knees. And then we're going to take it back to down dog. This time in your down dog, feet to the width of your mat, so nice and wide. You may walk your toes forward just a little tiny bit, just about an inch or so, not much. So you still want the foundation of this pose to be in your hands. Right hand reaches back to grab the outside of your left ankle. That's too much, you can grab the back of your calf or even knee, but get as low as you can. Keep your left arm, your left shoulder strong, and gaze underneath your left shoulder, a little twist. Keep lifting from your belly button. Keep working the length in your spine. Keep breathing. Take about 2 more breaths. And this is where if you have a slippery mat, you really notice it. So hopefully you guys have good mats at home where you're not slipping all around. Take 1 more round. Exhale. End of your exhale. Unwind. So regular down dog. And then let's just take a big inhale into our down dog. Lift your hips super high. This time gaze to the top of your mat and step all the way up, forward fold. Once you've arrived, spinal extension, inhale. Exhale, release, let it go. Root through your feet. Let's take it all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, maybe gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, inhale, arms to the sky. As you exhale, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, squeeze shoulder blades towards your spine, and then if you can, start to lift your hands back away from your body. Okay, from here, we're gonna move into a balance. So we've got our hands clasped, right foot roots, pick up your left knee. Now from here, variation of warrior 3, or you could think of it as airplane. So left heel towards your left butt cheek, left knee faces down, and then we'll hinge at our hips and start to extend your left leg back. Try to keep your chest lifted just a little, like a little baby cobra in your heart. So we're going for a smiley face shape from the top of our head back to our toes. Hips as square as possible. Take about 2 more breaths. After this, we're gonna open it up into half moon. So really, really slowly and carefully from here, hands to low back, release your clasp. Right fingertips to the ground or a block. Open up your hips. So left arm to the sky. And since I'm just teaching for myself today, I'm kind of trying some different transitions. This is kind of the way that I practice more when I'm by myself. So you can get a little taste of it. Might be a little different. You might like it. You might hate it. Just be open and explorative. Be curious. All right, 2 more breaths in your half moon. If you want to bind the pose, go for it. Bend your left knee, reach back. Otherwise, left leg is strong and powerful. 1 last breath. We're going to meet in a low lunge position. So slowly, mindfully, left toes to the back of your mat and both hands to the ground. Bring your back knee down gently. So if you need extra cushion, you can bring it under your back knee and then hands come up to your front thigh. So right now, I've got pretty much a 90-degree angle in my front knee. I'm gonna walk my front foot forward and then keeping my hips square, keeping my pelvis, my lower spine, my lower belly as one unit. So I'm not gonna do anything weird and funky here. Everything stays together. I'm gonna bring my right hip towards my right heel. My left hip stays facing directly forward. My low abdominals stay toned. So my low spine stays long. From here, arms to the sky if you would like. Anjaneyasana. Right butt cheek towards your right heel. Press down with your right heel. And even imagine you're trying to pull it back and up towards your right butt cheek. Puff up through your chest. Perhaps gaze up. And then breathe even bigger, even deeper. 2 more rounds. Nice work. If your arms are reaching up, last inhale here. As you exhale, hands come down to the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot further forward and then all the way out to the right edge of your mat. Try not to let all of your weight move to the left, so it's going to be really tempting to do this. This is so much easier. Try to keep your weight pushing over to the right, and then hips and heart come forward and down. Right knee stays above or behind your right ankle. And if you want to pivot your right toes out to the right or even roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot, totally fine with me. There's a variation you want to take here, go for it. You've got about 3 to 5 more breaths. So big, spacious breaths down into your hips. Encourage your weight to the right. Don't let it collapse to the left. You guys are awesome. 2 more rounds. Exhale out your mouth if you want to. Slowly come back up to your hands. And then from here, Left knee, your back knee is on the ground, so bring it down if it's not already there, and then just bring your right leg all the way back and extend it. Take your left arm forward and extend it. Here you are, spinal balance. Draw your belly button in and up. Find your balance, find your stability. Reach actively through your fingers, press through your back foot. Little micro bend in your right elbow. Take one more inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, re-extend. Slowly with control, elbow to knee. Exhale, curl, empty out. Inhale, lengthen. And then one more, elbow to knee. See if you can round even through your mid-back, your mid-spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left hand down. Pivot on your left knee so left foot comes to the outside of your mat. Right arm to the sky. All right, so squeeze through your outer left butt cheek, press your hips forward, and then reach your right arm towards the top edge of your mat. Long, powerful line from your right fingertips back to your toes. Stay here if you want, or bend your right knee, reach back, grab hold. See if you can rotate your heart to look up. So gaze up and let your heart follow. Breathe down into your belly, spread your toes. 2 more rounds, your fullest expression, your biggest, deepest breaths. Good, and then very end of your next exhale, slowly release, unwind, back to hands and knees, tabletop, back to downward facing dog. Feet come out nice and wide. Maybe walk your toes just slightly forward, not much. And then left hand to the outside of your right ankle, calf, or knee. So as low as you can grab, and remember you're reaching to the outside, not the inside. See if you can gaze under your right shoulder. Right hand stays rooted, right shoulder strong, and then lift from your belly button. Keep the length in your spine. Breathe, use your exhales to wring out. Take one last round. End of your exhale, let it go, regular down dog. So kind of adjust your stance, walk it out for just a moment. Great big inhale. Exhale, look to the top of your mat, step or float, forward fold. Halfway lift on an in-breath. And as you exhale, let it go, bow. Root through your feet. Reverse swan dive, take it all the way up. Inhale, full body stretch. And hands to your heart, exhale. All right, inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, again, hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. This time, switch them to one finger over, so it's gonna feel a little bit funky, a little bit unnatural. That's okay, that's yoga. All right, roll your shoulders back and down, shoulder blades, squeeze your spine, and then only if it's available to you, start to reach your hands back away from your body. If interlacing doesn't work, you can grab opposite elbows instead, always. All right, from here comes our balance. Left foot roots, right knee lifts. So find your balance here first. Then, right heel towards your right butt cheek, right knee faces down. So just kind of swing your right knee down and then start to hinge. As you're hinging, right foot extends back. So kick back with your right leg. Keep your chest slightly lifted. Little baby cobra. Hips as square as possible for now. Back muscles squeeze around your spine, so squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Take 2 more rounds, soften your face. From here, we're moving slowly and intentionally, if possible, into our balancing half moon. So hands to low back, release your clasp, left hand down, or I just come to my left fingertips. Open up your right hip, so stack right hip on top of left. Right arm can reach up. You can go for the bind if you'd like. So work your expression of this posture. Take about 3 breaths. So we don't come into the pose and then come out of it. We come into the pose, Then we explore, we find more depth, we breathe bigger and deeper. Let's take one more inhale. Low lunge position, so right toe step back, hands can come down, and then back knee comes down gently. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. If you need extra cushion for your back knee, grab it and use it. So starting from this 90-degree angle in my front leg, I'm going to walk my front foot forward a little bit. So you can see now my ankle is in front of my knee. My hips are square. Low abdominals toned. This is going to stay as one unit as I bring my left butt cheek towards my left heel. So again, not letting go. I'm not doing funny things through here. Everything stays integrated. My right hip faces directly forward. My left heel is driving down into the ground and energetically pulling back. Option to take your arms to the sky. Back toes can stay tucked, or you can untuck them, whatever feels better for you. Lift your heart, lengthen your side bodies. Tone those lowest, deepest abdominals, your transverse. Couple more rounds. Hips move forward and down. Soft through your face. Take one more inhale, maybe a little gaze up. Exhale, hands to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot all the way out to the width of your mat and even further forward. Now without letting your weight just collapse over to the right, so push your weight or encourage your weight to the left, and then heart and hips move forward and down. If you come down to your forearms, my challenge for you, see if you can come down to your left forearm first. And then keeping as much weight there as possible, you can bring your right forearm down when you're ready. Pivot to the outer edge of your left foot if you want, or you can just spin your left toes out to the left if that feels better. Big thing, you do not want your left knee falling in. So if your left knee is falling in, adjust. You want your left knee to open up so we can open our hips. Take about 3 more. If it's uncomfortable, wonderful. Let it be uncomfortable and just breathe into it. All right, one last big breath if you want to exhale out your mouth. Lift back up to your hands if you're not already there. And then from here, we'll plant our hands, 3-legged tabletop. So left leg extends back and you can just give it a nice little shake out. Left knee comes down. Bring your knees out much wider than your hips, big toes touch. Child's pose. So sit back and rest for just a moment. Breathe down into your low back, into your hips and your pelvis. Hello, my love. Hello. And then in your next couple of rounds, downward facing dog. Big spacious breaths, ujjayi breaths. All right, from your down dog, next time you inhale, right leg to the sky. Open up your right hip, so bend your knee, reach your right knee out, reach your right knee up, squeeze your outer right butt cheek. And then see if you can really feel your hips stack on top. So right hip on top of left, very similar to our half moon. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, right knee, left elbow as close as you can come. Inhale, 3-legged dog, lengthen. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, or higher if you can get there. Maybe even add a little push-up. Try not to let your left shoulder roll forward. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your nose, so scoop out your belly, hollow out. Inhale, three-legged dog, re-extend. Now open up your hip again. Stay here, or option to flip it. Right toes come down, right arm reaches forward, heart forward, hips lift. Breathe down into your belly. Big, spacious breaths. Open up through your front body. One more round. Let's come back. Three-legged down dog. So everybody right leg high, breathe in. And then as you exhale, pigeon. Set your right shin at the top of your mat. Gently set your body down. So right knee towards the outer right edge of your mat. Pull right hip back, left hip forward. Hug in with your inner thighs. So you're integrating, you're connecting, you're plugging the femur bones into the sockets. Keep pulling your right hip back as you reach your heart forward and bow. Active through your front toes, so try to spread them. And that'll keep your ankle and your knee safe so we're not pulling on tendons and ligaments. Take about 5 to 7 rounds. Big, spacious, diaphragmatic breaths. Last couple rounds, exhale out your mouth if you would like. And then slowly begin to ease your upper body back upright. And we're going to actually come into a seat. So nice and easy, just sit over onto your right butt cheek. Swing your left leg around. For a moment, take both legs out in front of you and give them a nice little shake out. Keep your left leg extended forward, right knee hugs in towards your chest. Get your heel as close to your right butt cheek as you can. Left leg extended, toes face up. Since you're at home, might even be helpful to sit your butt up on top of a blanket or a pillow to give you a little head start. So we're going into a forward fold. This is from Ashtanga. I rarely teach it because it's so hard for me to do. My hamstrings are my nemesis. So left toes face up, bend your knee as much as you need to so you can sit up tall here. And then bring your left hand kind of to the outside of your left hip so it's helping you sit up tall. Reach your right arm up. Both sit bones as much as possible, stay rooted. Big inhale. And as you exhale, lead with your heart, hinge at your hips, reach forward. Try to keep your sit bones grounded. Try not to twist to the right. So bring your right rib cage down. This is, again, one of those poses that I'm like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable. I don't even feel like I'm doing it right. That's okay. Sometimes that's how poses feel. My job now is to just explore being here. Little adjustments. How can I get more out of this for myself? Take about 2 more. And then at the end of your second exhale, you can just slowly roll it up. We're going to keep our right knee bent, but bring our right foot now to the outside of our left thigh. Preparing for a twist. Hug your knee in, sit up tall. Right arm reaches up again. Inhale, and then this time exhale, twist. Bring your right hand down behind you. Left hand can stay where it's at, or if you want, you can reach your left arm up. Inhale, more length, and exhale. Left elbow latches to the outside of your right knee. Gaze back over your right shoulder. Try not to lean back. Stay nice and tall. Breathe all the way down to your belly. As you exhale, feel that wringing out. Work your twist. Couple more. All right. End of your next exhale. Unwind your upper body and turn all the way to your left side, hands to the ground. Now, just for a moment, this should feel good. Just let your spine round, bring the crown of your head towards the ground, little bow. Breathe down into your low back. And then lift back up. We're gonna play with an arm balance here. So this is called baby grasshopper. What I want you to focus on is you still have one foot on the ground. So you can stand on this right foot. You want your right toes pointing basically off the left side of your mat. And then right hand will reach down to grab your left foot. If that's not available, grab your calf or your ankle as low as you can reach. And then your left hand is coming off the left side of your mat. So toes point to the left, fingers point to the left. This left arm, I'm gonna be doing Chaturanga. So I'm gonna propel myself forward, get strong with my left arm. So everything has to happen simultaneously. So I'm gonna step onto my right foot, press into my left hand, propel myself forward, and lift my butt all at the same time. Looks like this. So it's called baby grasshopper. 1, 2, and 3. So now the only thing on the ground is my right foot and my left hand. Left shoulder strong, plugged into the socket. Belly's engaged, navel to spine. So play with that for a moment. Just have fun with it. If you don't get it, who cares? Just a party trick, really. And as my friend James Hardy would say, when the love is lost, let it go. Take your legs forward, give them a nice little shake out. We'll meet back in down dog. You can get there however you want to. Maybe a boat pose, couple breaths. From your boat pose, eventually cross your ankles, rock forward, step or hop back, take a vinyasa, and we'll see everyone back in down dog your next couple of breaths or so. Reconnect to your breath, feel into your body. So Ujjayi, just a little longer. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Open it up, bend your left knee, squeeze your outer left glute. Flex your toes. So feel this nice opening right here first. And if you want to stay here, totally fine. Otherwise, one more inhale. And as you exhale, we've got our twist, left knee, right elbow. Use your obliques. Inhale, three-legged dog, take it back up. Exhale, left to left, as high as you can get on your arm. Maybe add your push-up. This is a good practice for a baby cobra, or a baby grasshopper. Inhale, re-extend. And then exhale, last one, knee to your nose. So shoulders over wrists, scoop out your belly on your back, tippy toes. Inhale, lengthen. Open up your hip again. And then option to flip. Left toes come down, left arm lifts and reaches forward. Heart forward, hips up. Breathe down into your belly. So let your front body be open and exposed. Breathe into it, last round. End of your exhale, come back. Left leg extends, inhale. Exhale, pigeon, left shin, top of your mat. So set your body down gently. Left knee towards the outer left edge. Pull your left hip back. Right hip forward. Find the integrity. Keep pulling your left hip back as you reach your heart forward and bow. Your pose, your expression. Your big deep breaths. Keep your left toes active. Keep energetically pulling your left hip back and slightly up. Let's take about 4 or 5 more breaths. Big diaphragmatic breaths. Round, big sigh out your mouth. Slowly, let's start to find our way back upright. And then we'll find our way into a seat. So just nice and easy, sit over onto your left butt cheek and swing your right leg around. Both legs out in front of you for just a second. Shake them out. If that was helpful to sit up on top of a pillow or something last time, then do it again this time. All right. So right leg straight, left knee bends, left heel towards your left butt cheek. Right toes face up. Bend your knee as much as you need to so you can sit up tall. Bring your right hand out by your side. And I come up to my right fingertips to just kind of help myself find more length. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, reach forward. Try to keep your sit bones rooted. This pose is so awkward and uncomfortable for me. And if it's that way for you, cool. Be here with me. Be uncomfortable with me and breathe. Try to keep your right knee pointing straight up. Right toes pointing straight up. Use your exhales to fold a little further. 2 more breaths. I feel like my pose looks so sloppy, so don't look at my pose. Do as I say, not as I do. I am definitely still a practitioner, just like you. We're all students forever and ever. Take one last round. That's why I love this practice so much. All right, and then slowly rise. Left knee stays bent, but just bring your left foot to the outside of your right thigh now. Sit up tall, sit bones rooted. Inhale your left arm up again, and then this time we're gonna twist. Left hand comes down, twist from your center. If you want more, right arm to the sky. More length, inhale, and then exhale. Right elbow latches to the outside of your left knee. Gaze back over your left shoulder and breathe. All the way down to your belly. Couple more. All right, we're gonna unwind just our upper body. So in the end of your next exhale, unwind. Hands over to your right side. Take your little bow so your back can round. Crown of your head towards the ground. Ooh, that feels good. Breathe that into your low back. And then lift up. I'll try teaching the arm balance this time, so you're looking at the back of me. Maybe that will help you get a different perspective that may or may not help. So remember, we've got our left foot on the ground. We're standing on our left foot. Right hand off the right side of your mat. Toes, your toes can face directly to the right or slightly forward. You just want to make sure your foot's in a position where you can stand up on it. All right, left hand reaches down to grab your right foot. If that's too much, ankle, shin, or calf is fine. All right, so remember, one simultaneous movement. 3, 2, 1. I'm standing on my left foot, pressing into my right arm. Chaturanga with my right arm. Now my butt is reaching back. My core is engaged. Breathe. Baby grasshopper. Play with it for as long as you'd like. When the love is lost, come out. Give your legs a little shake out. Let's see what time we got. Perfect. All right, so before we go all the way down onto our backs, my friends, this is what we're gonna do. We're going to, I hardly ever teach this, hero's pose, knees together, feet apart, and then you can move your calf, your musculature out of the way if you need to. Butt sits back in between your heels. You want to make sure your toenails are pressing into the ground. If this is way too much, sit your butt up on top of pillows, blocks, or blankets. So from here, you might stay here. You want to keep your knees kissing, so you don't want your knees to come apart. Keep a little tone in your belly and start to take it back. Some of you may be able to lay all the way back. This is as far as I'm going to go. Keep pressing down through your toenails. Keep hugging in through your knees. Keep breathing. 3 more. Some people, this is going to feel fine, natural, comfortable. Others, like myself, very uncomfortable. Be here with me. Be uncomfortable with me. Let's take one last breath and exhale out our mouth. So next time you inhale, fill up as big as you can. Hold, sip in a little more. Open mouth sigh. If you're down on your back, as gracefully as possible, and if you want to stay on your back, get out of it some way down there, that's fine. Otherwise, start to find your way back up nice and easy, very mindfully, and then we'll sit our hips to one side, swing our legs around. Everybody down to your back, and a full body stretch is in order. Arms long, legs long. Pull yourself apart. Great big inhale. Exhale, knees draw in. Little rock from side to side. Massage your low back against the ground. From here, let's find a supine spinal twist. Both of your knees fall to the right. Left arm reaches out to the left. Gaze up or over your left shoulder. And then breathe all the way down into the lowest lobes of your lungs. So each time you inhale here, I want you to feel a little stretch underneath your ribs. Exhale all the way to empty, about 2 or 3 more. And then we'll switch to the other side. So as you switch sides, take a moment to neutralize in between. So that can be giving your knees a great big squeeze in, full body stretch. I'm going to take just a couple windshield wipers side to side. And then when you're ready, supine spinal twist, knees over to the left, right arm out to the right. Gaze up or over your right shoulder. And take some spacious breaths. Big Ujjayi breaths. Lowest lobes of your lungs inflate every time. I'll just leave it up to you. So when you feel pretty even on both sides, bring it back to center. I'm going to take a couple more windshield wipers. You can do whatever feels good. And then finish off your practice with a happy baby pose. So knees on the outsides of your ribs, soles of your feet face the sky. Maybe rock around a little bit. Straighten one leg and the other, or even both at the same time. If there's any more stretches, poses, any more little movements you would like to take to finish off your own practice, feel free. And as you're ready, my friends, just start transitioning into your final relaxation. So quartz pose or any position that will just allow you to let go. Any position that will allow you to simply just be. As you settle in, I'm going to read to you. Most of you, if not all of you, have probably heard of the book, The 4 Agreements. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. I'm just going to read from this little baby version of this book I have. It's a little baby. I'm just going to read the third agreement. Do not make assumptions. We have a tendency to make assumptions about everything. The problem with making assumptions is that we believe they are the truth. We make assumptions about what others are doing or thinking. We take it personally, and then we blame them and react by sending emotional poison with our word. We only see what we want to see and hear what we want to hear. We don't perceive things the way they are. We literally dream things up in our imagination. Because we are afraid to ask for clarification, we make assumptions that we believe are right. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong. Making assumptions in our relationships is really asking for problems. Often we make the assumption that our partners know what we think and that we don't have to tell them what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we assume they should do, we feel hurt and say, you should have known. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions. Make sure the communication is clear. If you don't understand, ask. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. Once you hear the answer, you will not have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. So I feel like this is something we always do all the time without even realizing it. We interpret things the way we are rather than the way they are. And then we think that's the truth. And then we base our truth on that. So let go of all your assumptions. Let go of even knowing anything at all. Just open up to possibility. Open up to no answers, no right or wrong. Everything just as it is. Letting go of the way we expect things to be, or the way we want things to be, or the way we assume things ought to be. And just let them be as they are, maybe without understanding them fully, maybe needing to ask more questions, but for now, just letting everything settle. Letting your body settle, letting your mind settle. So I'm going to leave you here for these last few moments, and if you have time to stay a while, stay a while. If you only have 30 seconds, then take that 30 seconds and close your practice for yourself when you are ready in a way that resonates for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.